let's talk about headlock with punch defense. So let's show the move and then we'll break it down. So he winds up to punch. Right there. Pretty simple. The important part of this is, of course, the punch block. So anytime my opponent is just grabbing my head, squeezing nice and tight, not threatening the punch, there's a number of moves I can use from here, depending on really his posture, whether he's vertical, really bent over, whatever it might be. Anytime he lets go of this grip, I've got to be worried about punch defense. So two things I'm doing here. Number one, I'm grabbing the wrist right here. Two, I'm coming over top of the arm, 4 fingers in the bend of his elbow. Okay? And I'm going to pin that to his body. It's common to want to come inside right here to block, right? We think it makes more sense because we're creating a barrier in between the punch and myself. The issue with this is if he winds up nice and bigger, even though I'm really long, I still can't follow that arm, and now he's wound up nice and big for a big punch. Boom. So instead of coming inside where he can wind up nice and big and I lose that arm, I'm coming over top to prevent him from winding up that punch at all. So we're here in the headlock. As soon as he lets go, I'm coming over top, grabbing the wrist, and the more I stuff this arm back, I can use this wrist and this to feed it back. Okay? The easier it is to maintain that arm here. So if we turn this way, you can see by sucking this back, it's easier to hold. Okay? If you're not long enough to reach here, I can stuff this arm back. And in reality, he's probably pulling his arm back to wind up for that punch anyways, which makes it easier to grab here. Okay? Pin that to his body, keep it pulled back. Okay? So from here, now that I have this arm secured, I'm okay to do the move. So this hand comes, middle finger on the bend of the wrist, and I'm going to start looking away from here. Okay? I'm going to start stepping back as I open and look over my shoulder. So you can see by stepping back, it opens up that arm, and by looking away, it opens up that arm. So when I put those two together, I really have a lot of strength to open this up so that I can duck my head out. Okay? The common mistake practicing this is we open up and then we want to just pull the arm over the head. Okay? If he's really squeezing my head, I'm not going to be able just to peel this arm over. So I need all of this. Okay? Right here, there's a high chance he's still pulling. I can't just lift this over my head. Okay? I've got to duck out. Okay? So then from here, I maintain this arm. I've got my hip connected into his hip, and then I can just slowly pull this up for a submission here. You won't always be able to submit the guy from here, but there's actually really good control from here. So even if I can't force a submission from here, I can hold the guy here for quite a while. It's fairly easy to hold the guy, even if he struggles to get out here. As long as I keep my hips connected against his, keep pressure on this arm, and keep this arm pulled back. So, a couple times again, he winds up, catch, catch, pin it to the body. Grab the wrist, look away as I step back. You can see I'm almost in, we'll call it a backwards T position here. Okay. My hip is against his hip, and my feet are in a little different T position here. So I'm ducking my head under, my hip is in contact with his hip, and just so you can see again, I'm applying upward pressure here as I push my hips in here. Okay? So let's maybe look at it from a different angle here. So he winds up. You can see how I catch that here. Grab the wrist, pin it to the body. The more I suck this back, you can see I'm pulling my elbow to my side where I'm nice and strong. Okay. Grab the wrist here, and I start stepping back until I'm in this T position. I'm opening up here, and then I'm ducking my head out. Hip is in contact with this hip, and then I create some upward pressure right there. Okay? So, a couple times, full speed, punch me. Okay? It's about as fast as it needs to be. Okay? He's holding. Okay, go ahead and grab. Yep. Okay, from here I'm relatively safe. Second that comes off, okay, I've got to be prepared for that before it even comes off. Right here. Okay. So he locks his grip. Okay, my hands are here, ready to catch, ready to block. Okay, so he winds up the punch. It's right there. That's it. So headlock with punch.